യോഗജാലകത്തിലൂടെ നമ്മുടെ ജീവിത പങ്കാളിയെ കണ്ടെത്താൻ
വേൾഡ് മാട്രിമോണി.
3. Works attitudes. Learning objectives. 1. Define what work attitudes are. 2. Define and differentiate between job satisfaction and organization commitment. 3. List several important factors influencing job satisfaction and organizational commitment. 4. Identify 2 ways companies can track attitudes in the workplace. How we behave at work often depends on how we feel about being there. Therefore, making sense of how people behave depends on understanding their work attitudes. An attitude refers to our opinions, beliefs, and feelings about aspects of our environment. We have attitudes toward the food we eat, people we met, courses we take, and things we do. At work, 2 jobs attitudes have the greatest potential to influence how we behave. These are job satisfaction and organizational commitment. Job satisfaction refers to the feelings people have toward their job. If the number of studies conducted on job satisfaction is an indicator, job satisfaction is probably the most important job attitudes. Institutions such as Gallup or the Society for Human Resources Management (SHRM) periodically conduct studies of jobs satisfaction to track how satisfied employees are at work. According to a recent Gallup survey, 90% of the employees surveyed said that they were at least somewhat satisfied with their jobs. A recent SHRM the study revealed 40% who were very satisfied. 1. Organizational commitment is the emotional attachment people have toward the company they work for. A highly committed employee is one who accepts and believes in the company's values, is willing to put out effort to meet the company's goals, and has a strong desire to remain with the company. People who are committed to their company often refer to their companies as we, as opposed to they, as in this company we have a great benefits. That way we refer to the company indicates type of attachment and identification we have with the company. Therefore, a high degree of overlap between job satisfaction and organizational commitment, because things that make us happy with our job often make us more committed to the company as well. Companies believe that these attitudes are worth tracking because they often associate with outcomes that are important to controlling rules such as performance, helping others, and absenteeism and turnover. What causes positive work attitudes? What makes you satisfied with your job and develop commitment to your company? Research shows that people pay attention to several factors of their work environment, including characteristics of the job, a function of organizing activities, how they are treated, relate to leadership's action, the relationships they form with colleagues and managers. Also, leadership relate and the level of stress the job entails. As we have seen earlier in this chapter, personality and values play important role in how employees feel about their jobs. Jobs characteristic. Employees tend to be more satisfied and commit in jobs that involve certain characteristics. The ability to use a variety of skills, having autonomy at work, receiving feedback on the job, and performing a significant task are some jobs characteristics that are related to satisfaction and commitment. However, the presence of these factors is not important for everyone. Some people have a high need for growth. These employees tend to be more satisfied when their jobs help them build new skills and improve 2. Organizational justice and the psychological contract. A strong influence over our satisfaction level is how fairly we are treated. People pay attention to the fairness of company policies and procedures, fair and kind treatment from supervisors, and fairness of their pay and other rewards they receive from the company. 3. Organizational justice can be classified into three categories. 1. Procedural fairness in the way policies and processes are carried out. 2. Distributive, the allocation of resources or compensation and benefits are. And 3. Interactional, the degree to which people are treated with dignity and respect. At the root of organizational justice is trust, something that is easier to break than to repair if broken. The psychology legal contract is the unspoken informal understanding that an employee will contribute certain things to the organization. Work ability and willing attitudes and will receive certain things in return. Reasonable pay and benefits. Under the psychological contract, an employee may be believed that if he or she works hard, receive favorable performance evaluation, he or she will receive annual bonus, periodic raises, and promotion, and will not be laid off. Since the downsizing trend of the past 20 years, many commentators have declared that the psychological contract is violated more often than not. Relationships are work to strong predictors of our happiness at work and commitment to the company are our relationships with coworkers and managers, the people we interact with, how friendly they are, whether we are socially accepted in our work group, whether we are treated with respect by them are important to our happiness at work. Research also show that our relationship with our manager, how considerate that manager is, and whether we build a trust-based relationships with manager are critically important to our job satisfaction and organizational commitment. 4. When our manager and overall management listen to us, care about us, and value our opinion, we tend to feel good at work. When establishing effective relations with employees, little signal that you are about your employees go a long way. For example, in 2004, San Francisco's Hotel Carlton was taken over and renovated by a new management group, Joey DeBerry. Hospitality. One of the small things that new management did that created dramatic result was that in response to an employee attitude survey, they replaced the old vacuum cleaner housekeeper were using and started replacing them every year. It did not cost of the machinery, but this is simple at the listening to employee problems and taking action went a long way to make employees feel better. Stress. Not surprisingly, the amount of stress present in the job related to employee satisfaction and commitment stressors range from environmental ones, nose, heat, indicate ventilation to interpersonal ones, organizational politics, conflicts with coworkers, to organizational ones, pressure to avoid making mistake, worrying about the security of the job. Some jobs such as incentives, care, unit, nurse and military fighter, pilot are inherently very stressful. Another source of stress, how do we the rules people are job. The ambiguity is uncertainty about what our responsibilities are in the job. Role conflict involves contradictory demands at work. It can also involve conflict between fulfilling one's role as employee and other roles in life such as the role of parents, Friend or community volunteer generally speak, the higher the stress level, that lower job satisfaction tend to be, but not all stress bad, and some stressors actually make us happier. For example, working under time, pressure, and having a high degree of responsibility are stressful, but they are also perceived as a challenges and tend to be related to high level of satisfaction.